Welcome back, friends. We are nearing the end of the series all about partnering. And, at some point with my potential partners, they're going to ask this question. Well, how much money can we really make in a partnership? And today, I'm going to give you that answer. I want to share with you what I've learned in real estate, because this strategy is not about flipping a property and making a quick $50,000. I learned a long time ago that while that feels really good, it's really just a job in real estate. And it can become, if you do it right, a good paying job. But guess what happens when you got the 50 grand? You got to start over again. We're talking about a more passive approach that has the ability to produce exponential wealth with time. So there's a couple things in answering this question, how much money can we make? I want you to first understand that it comes down to you, because I'm a pretty aggressive individual and my results are really aggressive. Now, aggressive doesn't mean risky. Aggressive doesn't necessarily mean out of control. What it means is I know how to find the very best deals to make my money work for me. And if you remove real estate, 1800s philosopher and economist J.B. Shea from France said that creating wealth is nothing more than taking money from areas of low yield and putting them in areas of high yield. Friends, that's all we're doing in real estate. You got money sitting in an annuity, 401k, IRA, home equity, savings, under the mattress, gold, silver. The reality is none of those assets are producing a residual income for you. So they're highly speculative. But for being speculative, it's not Vegas. They don't give you a whole lot of return. They may not have risk, but they also don't have a reward. So the problem is that we have society telling us to do these things with our assets that frankly benefit the fund managers and benefit the financial planners, but the system is broken. It's never ultimately gonna get you where you wanna go. And when you find that out, you say, well, I need to at least be earning 10% or more so that over time my money can become something. And we're trying to do obviously a lot more than that. With that being said, it comes down to you. If we partner up, you're kind of holding the reins on saying, hey, I have an intention of doing 3 properties, but then maybe in the first year we only do 2. What's the difference between 2 versus 3 properties over time? Well, I can tell you that the end result is not just going to be a third more money. It's going to be a lot more because we have compounding interest. Watch one of my other videos on compounding interest and discover how powerful that compounding can be. That's what makes this work. It's not just a 20% ROI. It's a 20% compounding ROI. Now, whether our deals in hindsight are only producing 10% or 8% or 30%, all of which I've seen, they're all compounding, which means that aside from total ROI, we have something working in our favor that can get us somewhere. It's up to you, however, to do your part. I can bring the team, I can bring the deals, I can put it in front of you. There will be some risk, obviously, but only you can pull the trigger on whether you want to buy 4 homes or 2 homes. One of the things that I recommend is, first of all, understanding that you're really holding the trigger. The second thing I want you to understand is that real estate in the first 3 years, you're going to look back and say, Chris, this is so boring. Like, what have we really gotten, right? We bought this property, yeah, it's cash flowing, but then it has repairs sometimes. What's this really doing? Sometimes it's not till the 3rd, 4th, or 5th year when you get to your first round of refinances or selling that you're like, whoa. We have profits. We can actually now take the original down payment and put it in a new one, and then also take the profits, some of mine, some of yours, 50-50, and we roll it together into the next one, and guess what? 1 home just gave birth to 2. So if you started, for example, with 3 properties, then maybe 3 or 5 years, they become 6 properties. Again, not very exciting for the next couple of years, but then we have our next tax-free refinance or selling event that comes due, or home equity line, or whatever it's going to be, or collateralizing, and all of a sudden 6 becomes 12 properties. I find for my partners that once you've seen it double the first time, it's really exciting. When you see it double again, that's crazy exciting. And if you'll continue doing that, we're going to have this thing turn into a tremendous amount of wealth. Now, understand that we might split some cash flow along the way and take a distribution, but outside of that, when we sell a property or refinance and get a pile of money, that's going to represent some original down payment. It's also going to represent profit. Me, I'm in a position where I can keep rolling my profit forward. If for whatever reason it's time for you to take that money and actually split it and keep your portion, then what I want you to understand that's going to happen then is all the money you put in gets paid back first, but now I've put in money, I've put in profits, that gets paid back, and then the rest of the profits also get split 50-50. I will tell you that when you say, well, how much money can this make? You got to let it roll. You want to give it the benefit of time. I'll give it the benefit of experts. I'll give it the benefit of some of the top ROI properties. You need to give it the benefit of time. And if we can be on the same page with that, then like I said, the first decade really is about taking a small amount of money and turning it into a lot. And the second decade is taking a lot and turning it into a legacy. A legacy means that you have so much wealth built that you can donate. You got the money for your family and your loved ones and your posterity, your children, your grandchildren, but you also have money for probably charity and doing some other great works where you're leaving a legacy, which means you might be gone from this planet or old, you and I both there together, but the assets are still doing good in society for you, for your family, for your loved ones, and for others. So that's really the goal here. What I can say is if you want to go faster, every time you do a good job managing your money and saving up money to put in the next deal, guess what it does? It will actually make it possible for you to put more in, which will help us do more. I'll do my part by reinvesting my profits outside of the cash flow distribution. Together, ultimately, we can make this thing soar. Now, once in a while, I do have my partners that will say, Chris, but what if I want to go faster? And I run out of money too. I have to wait to multiply the portfolio. What do I do? And when you come out to the live event, one of the things that I love to do is train you on how you can find partners and bring them to the table. A point in time comes where you have the ability to bring in other people's money, whether I am or am not involved, where you can keep growing faster, faster, and faster. Some of you might want to partner with me and say, Chris, I want out of my job in 5 years, but I only have this amount of money. And if we let that grow at your maximum rate, it's not going to be what I need. What can we do? Well, I can teach you how to partner. Now that's something that you're going to need to build a track record and a portfolio with me on. We're going to want to set up our money to be growing and going on its course. And then I'll show you how to document all of that and take it to other people that you may or not know right now, how to get them to want to partner with you. And I'll show you ways that you can leverage my same system so that you can have all your money growing in our portfolio together and you can have their money growing in your portfolio with them. That's probably one of the coolest perks of actually partnering with me, is that I'm going to show you how to do that from A to Z. Friends, thank you so much for watching this video. Again, if you are interested in partnering, click the link in the description and apply for that. Either way, take full advantage of this knowledge and take this partnering training that you're getting and put it to work. Let's do this.